So, I'm back from holidays, and it's not my page isn't a traveling vlog, so I never traveling page. It's a fucking coaching page. But I went on holidays, and I went on holidays during a gainer phase, and I didn't come home fat, thankfully. I went to Turkey with my girlfriend and my roommate. We went for 10 days. We travelled from Istanbul to Cappadocia, from Cappadocia to Antalya, where we spent 5 days by the beach and relaxed. Over the course of the 10 days, there was lots of walking in hot weather, in lovely weather. I have to say the Turkish people are really nice. Turkey is a beautiful country. Lots of cats, dogs. They don't really like dogs as much as they do here in Ireland. I think it's down to their religion. Don't want to be stepping on anyone's toes here, but I'm pretty sure it's a part of Islamic beliefs, or something to do with Muhammad, the Prophet. He liked cats, pretty sure. And if you don't know, Turkey's a pretty Muslim. It's a Muslim country. Lots of mosques around, and as I said, cats, and I don't think they like dogs as much. But anyway, I didn't get fat. So how I managed to do this was first admit to myself and keep myself accountable that I don't want to get fat over my holidays. That's where it kind of starts. Set a standard for yourself, and I think this is key to the whole thing. So I set a standard. Don't get fat over your holidays. Okay, step one. How do I do that? So what I did was, really and truly, it came down to making good food choices and saying no, and not being a pig when I had the opportunity to being a pig. Something that I struggle with, because for sure I can eat. I can pound down food, and Turkey was the place for it. I love a kebab. I love chicken. They have beautiful desserts. The food is really cheap, and their alcohol is not so cheap, but it was nice. So it was the perfect environment for Dara to get back to 100 kilos. So I made good food choices. And when I went towards a food choice that that would have been considered high calories, I made a conscious decision to not do the dog on food later on in that day. So take, for example, this day, for example, where we sat down and we got some kebabs. Well, we got a kebab. Now, in fairness, their kebabs over in Turkey are much healthier, I would say. Probably a lot fewer calories. Yeah, way fewer calories. And the meat and, the salad they give with you, even the chips, it's a normal portion. It's not like a takeaway that you get in the UK or Ireland. So that made it easier. But on that day, started with a kebab. We actually didn't get breakfast because we left early to go to the Asian side of Istanbul. So I had skipped breakfast. So I said, right, okay, I'm going to have a kebab here. And just made a conscious decision, right, okay, we were going to have drinks that night as well. That's the part I'm missing. So we had our kebab, knowing that we're going to have drinks. I had something light for lunch. Can't even remember what I had. I don't even think it was anything major. I think it would have just been like a toasty sandwich. They do lots of toasty sandwiches. And we had our drinks that night then. And then that night also we had another kebab, which was a chicken kebab. So overall the day, I had made the decision, right, okay, I'm not going to go and make a pig of myself. We're going to have our drinks in the night time, which is going to be calorie heavy. And I'm going to start the day with skipping breakfast, have a coffee, and then get our steps in, obviously walking around a lot, and go and have a kebab over in the Asian side, which is what we did. Anyway, to cut the long story short, across the 10 days, as it came closer to the end of the holiday, sticking to that routine became more difficult, because as you're by the beach, it's a little bit warmer. You're consciously or unconsciously going to unwind more, which was what I did. It was a lot of hustle and bustle in Istanbul, and in Cappadocia, it was just one night stay, and we did lots of walking and sightseeing. So, you know, you just generally didn't sit around much or as much. Whereas in Antalya, you know, lots of lounging around by the pool, lots more opportunities to just drink during the day, stuff like that. But nonetheless, I came home 86.6 kilos and I left 85.9 kilos. So I came home about 7 kilos or 0.7 kilos heavier. And I would attribute this to lots of walking, the food choices, the clever choices that I made, and I trained over there as well. So overall, it was quite successful. And I would advise you to do the same, is that at least make a conscious effort if you are in a gaining phase, or if you are even dieting while on holidays, make a conscious effort not to pig out on food. Select the days where you're going to go and have drinks. Obviously, I had days where it was just kind of off the cuff, but then I made sure to counter that on the next day and not go drinking as heavy or not make as poor food choices. I consciously made to go for a walk, consciously made a decision to go to the gym or find a gym, which was a fucking challenge, by the way, and consciously make a decision to make better food choices the next day, which I did. And I would advise you to do the same if you're going to diet or gain while on holidays. It successfully worked for me, and I honest to God, I would have been a person that would have believed that, you know, you couldn't do that I didn't have the skills to do that, but I actually managed to develop them, and I put them into practice. So yeah, a successful holiday and a successful gaining phase. I didn't fuck it up. So if you want to continue on following my YouTube page and following me and seeing how I'm getting on with my gaining phase over the next 6 months, I'm going to do a video next week on what my goals are for the next 6 months and give you a bit of an insight as to what I'm preparing for and how I'm preparing for it. And if you want to see that video, make sure to give me a subscribe and like this video. And if you want some free stuff, or if you want to work with me as one of my clients, I'm an online coach, and I'll help you get leaner and stronger and teach you my ways. And if you want to do that, just comment below or DM me. I'm pretty sure you can message here on YouTube, I'm not really too sure. Or at the very least, you can follow me on Instagram and DM me there. Thank you for watching.